Hello, Aquarius. Oh gosh, I was about to say Capricorn. I don't know what is going on. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your April Soul Session. I'm Princess India. If you're new, hello. And if you're family, welcome back, my friend. If you're not familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are your spirituality as well as personal development readings. And we do them for the sole purpose of giving you, okay, geez, okay. Can I do my spiel? For the purpose of giving you guys insight into the energies that you may experience in this given month, for the purpose of giving you clarity, insight, guidance, or any positive info that'll help you guys out with any challenges that you may face this month. So we already have 3 cards that, okay. Y'all need a word, huh? Okay. So we have 4 cards that fell out for my Aquarius people. So far, the first card that we have is the Page of Wands in the reverse. Then we have the Hangman in the reverse. That is your energy, my friend. Then we have the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. Wow. And then we have the King of Cups in the reverse. I already want to clarify these core cards. But what it is looking like, Aquarius, coming from March into April, there's a lack thereof of inspiration for you guys. There's a desire to passionately go in a direction that you guys, let me just say it like this. There's a desire for you guys to pursue some sort of passion, right? However, I feel the issue is you guys aren't really sure of what it is that you're passionate about, right? With this Hangman in the reverse, the first vibe that comes to me is a sense of enlightenment. That's the word that I heard. But I mean, not saying that y'all not enlightened, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I feel it in the sense of, for some of you, this could literally be talking about spirituality in the sense of you guys being enlightened. But I feel it more in the sense of being enlightened about something, meaning specifically your 3D life path, right? So you guys are very clear on who you are, right? What you want, what direction you want to go in. Some of you may have literally accomplished what your goals were for your life, like what you've set out to do, whether it's like, you know, working in some particular industry, getting degrees, or, you know, purchasing a home or getting married, having kids, whatever the case may be. So it's more or less you guys coming to a place to where you've achieved some level of worldly success. However, it's not enough. You know what I mean? So I see enlightenment in the context of, if you, like a metaphor in so many words. So if you think about like spiritual enlightenment, you're going up these different levels of awakening because there's this ultimate goal of reuniting with, you know, your higher self while you're in a body, right? For you guys, I feel that you've reached that state of like 3D enlightenment, meaning that you've achieved a great deal. And it's more or less feeling as if you've made it to the top of this mountain that you've been climbing for a very long time. And it's not to say that you're not grateful for what you have, right? Or that you're lacking gratitude for what it is that you have, or you're taking it for granted. I don't believe it's that at all. But it's just the thought of like, that's it. You know what I mean? It's like, so, you know, I go to work every day, or, you know, I'm married, or I have kids, or, you know, I have this house, and, you know, I got a, you know, Home Depot card, you know, I do yard work, you know, I've built a patio, you know, I go on vacation. Like, I do all of these things, but it's like, I thought I would feel different when I got here, you know? So for some of you, it could be this whole picture. For others of you, it could just be elements of that, something you worked really hard to achieve. And it's a certain state or feeling or wholeness, if you will, that you guys thought that you would feel once arriving or achieving this particular thing. And it's like, you know, I did this and it's still something is missing. So it's a desire to want to do something, not saying, you know, like throwing your whole life away or anything, but it's a desire to do something that you're passionate about. So this very well could be reaching a certain level of career success, right? and, you know, liking what you do, but feeling as if you aren't passionate about it. You know, you like your job, you like your profession, you like your career path, but it's not your true passion, right? So I wouldn't necessarily say that this is an existential crisis or anything. It's just more or less looking to me that coming into April, you guys are kind of in this headspace of like, you know, I'd like to pursue a passion, but it's like, what am I passionate about? Right. So it's this kind of feeling of not even really knowing what that is. Or if, you know, someone were to ask you, like, what do you feel that your purpose is, or what you're called to do? It's like, I don't really know. I'm not really sure, you know? So the contrast that I'm feeling is almost as if there's an inner unction coming from within you to go in a particular direction or to pursue a passion, but it's not being able to go anywhere because you don't know what that is. Like, you don't really know what direction to go in. Now, with the Seven of Pentacles, it's still falling into that energy that I'm feeling with this Hanged Man. Is just feeling as if one needs to reevaluate some things. And that kind of lapses into this King of Cups in the reverse, because, and I want to stress, I think there may be some elements of you guys feeling kind of guilty, because at least the Aquarius people who would resonate with this, it's not saying that your life is perfect, but it's like maybe compared to other people, you have it pretty good compared to other people. And it's like a level of guilt that you feel of like, why am I not happy? Like, how dare I sit here and like feel unfulfilled or whatever? Because, you know, a lot of people may have it, you know, worse off than I do. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, I have to, you know, encourage you guys that it's not being ungrateful, because I really feel the vibe that you guys sincerely really do appreciate everything it is that you have. However, you have to acknowledge your emotions. It's like, if you're feeling unfulfilled, I don't care if you're a billionaire, you know what I'm saying? You could be a celebrity, you could be a billionaire, and you could have goo gobs of money, right? But you have every right, and it's not a negative thing for you to acknowledge your unfulfillment, right? Because your spirit, your soul, right? That higher conscious element of you is trying to tell you something that doesn't make you ungrateful. It's like, you can be grateful for what you have and still feel unfulfilled, because stuff and things do not fulfill us. You know what I mean? So I feel, in a sense, what's important for you guys is to acknowledge what you're feeling, because it feels like you guys, and I think this may literally how it's looking. This may kind of carry into, kind of the, I want to say like around the 10th and the 11th. So is that like the first week? Yeah, that's like the first week of April. So it's kind of like a vibe you guys are feeling coming into the month. I'm looking at my calendar on the wall. It's like a vibe you guys are feeling coming into the month, but I feel it kind of fading out towards like the midpoint of the month. So that's like second week of April, like the week between the 11th and the 17th. You know what I mean? But I just feel coming in that first week is real heavy. But I just feel that that's a sign from spirit for you guys to acknowledge what this King of Cups in the reverse is representing for you guys. And it's that sense of unfulfillment. So I feel for you guys, Aquarius, and this is me projecting a little bit, because I haven't finished picking the cards. Not that I'm projecting on you. A little psych humor. But this is me projecting into what the next couple of cards will probably touch on. But I feel all of this is coming up because it's like a message from spirit or your intuition, your higher self, however you want to look at it, that it's time for you guys to really start exploring that. You know, it's not uncommon for a person to not know like what their passion is. Like, you know, not everybody is like a child prodigy that's like playing the piano since they were like 2, you know, and knows I want to be nothing more than a piano player. Not everyone is like that, but I think it's something really great to start to explore. And if that is something you want to dive deep into, I do have a course that's available on my website. It's called Purpose RX, and it really starts to dive into your purpose, your calling, your passions, and things of the sort, and kind of giving you some tools. I have like a lot of little psych tests in there too, to give you some tools and some resources to start that deep dive into unlocking what your purpose is. Now, the next card we have is the Emperor in the reverse. So that kind of feels like, I don't know why, y'all, I've been doing these readings and it's like my mouth keeps getting dry. So I keep swallowing extra hard. But anywho, we have the Emperor in the reverse. That's Aries energy. I am picking up on that, and I said this with another sign and I cannot remember who it is. I can't remember who it is. I'm not going to waste time trying to figure out. But anywho, with this Emperor in the reverse, this feels like an energy to me where it's coming from a motivational element. I said it in Sagittarius. That's who it was. It's a motivational element. It's something underneath it all, more or less something kind of subconscious that I feel led you guys to get to this point of success. It's like whether you were trying to, and it feels a lot like a father figure. Okay, that just got deep. Okay, two things. It's probably gonna be more than two. Okay. Some of you, and this would feel more like a male energy I'm picking up on right now, but it would be like a father figure, right? So either it's like your dad was like really, really successful or is still, and it's this feeling of needing to like compete, but not like in a negative way, but it's just like, you know, kind of living up to that standard to make the father proud, right? And not saying that that couldn't resonate with a female, but it's just the male energy is more pronounced to me at the present moment. On the other side of that, it would be a male who lost their father, like your father passed away when you were pretty young, either when you were young, maybe teens, maybe 20s or something along that lines. But a lot of what motivates you is either trying to make your dad proud, or this phenomena that happens sometimes when males have dads who pass away. Like say if your dad passed away when your dad was like in his like 20s or 30s or 40s, it's similar in symptoms to kind of like a midlife crisis. But it's like if you look at your dad's life, and say hypothetically, if this is a male whose dad died, like the father passed away when he was 35, right? So the son of this father, when he gets to 30, 31, 32, the closer that he gets to his dad's age, and what I mean by subconscious, because this is something like, this is literally something that happens in counseling a lot of times with male clients, where they're not consciously thinking I'm getting close to the age that my father passed away, but it's like suddenly something comes over them and they feel like, you know, what am I doing with my life? And it's like feeling as if they need to achieve things. So if it was something their dad was working on and their dad passed away before they can complete it, they can be in a similar field and they are subconsciously trying to accomplish what their dad didn't because he passed away so young. You know what I mean? Or with some people, it's like a fear of death because it's the thought of you being your father's son and your father passing away at 35, that you could pass away at 35. So it's feeling like you need to, you know, experience and accomplish a lot before you hit that age. And more often than not, this is something that people experience and it's totally subconscious. And when they are processing it in therapy, because whether, you know, it's like a partner that they're with, is like, I don't know what happened to you, or they just notice something's kind of off balance, just from them processing it in throughout the course of therapy, they end up making that connection of like, whoa, like, I wonder if this has anything to do like with my dad passing away. You know what I'm saying? So not saying that this couldn't resonate with a female, because I feel it could be the same thing with an Aquarius female to her mother or to her father or vice versa. But it's just those two male energies are pronouncing themselves a lot to me. But I think that that's something to be aware of. And if it's not a father figure, it's more or less this driving force or this belief, right? Which makes it similar to the energy I picked up in Sagittarius of not feeling enough. You know what I'm saying? And having this concept of what like a real woman is or what a real man is, right? But not really knowing where that definition came from, but seeing yourself as not measuring up to whatever that definition is, and that being the driving force behind you achieving these things. And it's more or less saying to me that this month for you guys, Aquarius, is more or less about, and I'm gonna say this two ways, coming out of a agreement with this if this is not like your motivating factor. Like if you talk about the standard of the, you know, ideal real male or the ideal real woman, if your concept of that is your personal definition and it doesn't come from society or family or someone outside of you, then of course that's not something you would want to come out of alignment with. It's something you'd want to be aware of because that would fall into it being a value of yours, right? And you being a person of integrity would be you aligning with what your values are, right? But in the event that you end up kind of exploring what the motivating factor is, like what's your driving force to get to where it is that you are now, and you realize that it's someone outside of yourself, whether it's a parent or it's society or, you know, the religion you were as a kid, whatever the case may be, and you don't agree with that and you don't believe that that's the actual true definition of what a, you know, proverbial real man or real woman is, right? Real person, right? Then that would be something you would want to come out of alignment with, and would explain this feeling of being unfulfilled, right? Because this is not your core value, because that's what I really feel like we're talking about here, Aquarius. This is really speaking to Aquarius identifying, and that's something else you do in Purpose RX too, but this will really be speaking to Aquarius bringing into their conscious what it is that you truly value, right? And living in accordance with that. Because when one is feeling unfulfilled, it's 10 times out of 10 because the life that we're living or the things that we're doing are incongruent with our personal value system, because we all have different values, right? And it creates a personal morale. We feel on balance and in control when we're living in accordance with our own personal value system. So if you don't know your core values, right, aren't aware of what they are, or you're aligning with someone else's, it can leave us with this feeling of unfulfillment, right? Or feeling as if we're lacking passion. It's like we're more or less just doing what we should, ought, or supposed to do, if that's making sense. So let's, whoa, all right then. Then we have the Seven of Swords. Interesting. And the reverse. So more or less, yeah, totally. Aquarius, this whole month for you guys is about coming back to your place of truth, because it's almost as if there's something that's been left behind. Now, why I think this is so perfect, because looking at how I was feeling this energy for the first part of the month, that brings us into the 11th of April, which is the Aries new moon, right? During new moons, we set intentions, right? Now, thinking about you guys setting intentions is hella important, because during Aries season, we're really speaking to us moving forward throughout the course of this year and moving forward, because it's all these energy shifts and stuff that's going on. We ain't gonna get into all that now, but this is a step in the right direction in 2021. And it's you making a statement of your truth, right? The truth of who you are. What better place to start to cultivate that, right? Or build up from that than with your core values? Because I feel with this Seven of Swords in the reverse, is more or less speaking to having robbed oneself of that fulfillment. Not saying that in a negative way, because I don't feel like you guys really were aware or knew. It's just, you know, kind of following the pattern that one has been told or believed leads to happiness. And this comes into the Scorpio full moon on the 26th at the end of this month with things that we're releasing. And it's like releasing any false beliefs or values or personas or desires or whatever that aren't in alignment with your authentic truth. So I'm more or less looking at this as like a retrieval of oneself. It's like there, and this also reminds me of And then we got the Two of Cups in the reverse at the bottom. This also reminds me of Leo's reading too, because with their reading, I talked a lot about remembering what your wishes and dreams were as a child, like what you wanted to be when you grew up, right? Because that's like the pure part of you, right? And I see the same thing with this being a page that's starting out you guys reading. It's really going back to that childhood fervor. You know what I mean? What makes you excited about life? What you really love? Like what brings you joy? What you Google at 3 a.m.? You know what I mean? And this Two of Cups is really speaking to that off balance of the lack thereof of this inner child or this old passion, or just discovering your passion for the first time. You know what I mean? So it's more or less all of these things are transpiring this month, and these emotions are coming up for you guys to acknowledge them, right? And to start doing some deep diving, doing some little self-discovery to unlock what you guys' passions are, so you can integrate that into the life that you've built so far. So this isn't at all about you guys like abandoning your successes or the life that you built. It's all about you guys integrating your passions as a side hustle, hobby, passion project, what have you, into the life that you've built up to this point. So all in all, I think it's pretty great, Aquarius, you know what I'm saying? But anywho, I'm going over to my network to do you guys extended. So if you're about that life, follow me on over there, my friend, because we're going a little deeper into this. We're playing out the rest of the month, and I have some oracle cards for some advice for you guys over there. So if you're about that life, follow me on over. But if not, I still love your face, Aquarius. And I will see you guys sooner than later.